And welcome to Nyasha's Notebook Australia Grand Prix edition. In the words of Kylie Minogue, wow, 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 wow. What the fuck was that? What a race! What a race! For those of you who are new here, welcome. This is Quickstop F1. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. This show, as you can see, I'm Team LH. I'm still crying from the absolute shit show that Ferrari served up for us today. But this is Nyasha's Notebook, the show where I essentially pretend to be Ted Kravitz and walk around somewhere and give you, I guess, a rundown of what has happened in the race. Now, if you are watching, thank you for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more ridiculous things like this. No, I am not in Melbourne. I'm actually in Kringle Fields in Manchester. This park is different to the park I was in yesterday. Definitely a posher park. The level of posh dog in this park is off the chain. I'm seeing dogs that I didn't even know existed. It's insane. But nevertheless, I've got my notebook. I made notes throughout the day or throughout the morning. I guess let's get into it. And I guess where to start? I guess let's start with Lando Norris. Because I think as much as it's very easy to start with Ferrari or to start with the rookies, let's start on a positive note. And Lando Norris, P1 today, he got pole position, he had fastest lap, he was the race winner, and all in all, it was a little, oh, sorry, I'm just going to change hands. Oh, that was much better. All in all, it was the type of performance that I think people have wanted from Lando and people have wanted from McLaren for a while. I think I was talking to Cameron off camera, literally not in the park, but I was talking to him and, we were discussing about, he said, this is a new Lando Norris. And in all honesty, I don't know how much I buy into that. I think I've been one of those people who have been quite critical of Lando. Does he have that dog inside him to be able to take the fight to Max Verstappen? And I think that's what we all wanted. Today is what we wanted from McLaren, and I think it's what we wanted from Lando Norris. Can you put together? It's all good having victories like Abu Dhabi, where you've clearly got the quickest car, flag to flag, and lights to flag, and you end up winning. Today, he really did put it together in conditions which were some of the most ridiculous conditions you could ask for as a Formula One driver, as evidenced by experienced and rookie drivers going out. And look, it wasn't without fault. There was the off that he had with Oscar Piastri. Both of them succumbing to the heavy rain which fell towards the end of the race. That actually damaged his car. And if it wasn't for that, I think they said they'd have been a lot more comfortable at the restart after Liam Lawson's safety car towards the end. But this is what McLaren wanted. How many races did they chuck away last year because they were not thinking on their feet? Canada, Silverstone. I think there's another one in there that I can't quite remember. I mean, you can look at this shit show in Hungary. None of that today. And I think if ever there was an ominous sign for this season, I know it's only one race. I know it's not representative. But if ever there was a clear, ominous sign that if you're not betting your whole house on McLaren to win the title this year, then I honestly I don't know. I don't know what more you could want from McLaren. For them to have done what they did today in those conditions shows a team that's learning. It shows a team, a driver that's maturing. And this was always my thing with Lando, was that, oh, so many cute dogs, hello. This is always my issue with that. I'm gonna get off the track because there's a lot of people walking their dogs. This is always my issue with Lando Norris, was that he was not, I think, maturing at a rate that you would want. 7 seasons now in F1. Last season was his 6th. I think Max Verstappen, 2021 was his 7th season, I want to say. So, with that being said, you would want more from someone mentally. I think what we saw mentally was that Lando wasn't ready for a title fight last season, but maybe he is this season. So well done. Incredible pace in all conditions. I've got down here. Team orders, Oscar Piastri. Oh, Oscar. Oh, Oscar. I mean, yeah. Oscar Piastri. What a shame. I feel like Australians are cursed. Like, I think they're cursed. Like, Daniel Ricciardo, Mark Webber, Jack Doohan, Oscar Piastri. Cursed to not do well at their home Grand Prix. Because Oscar, there was points in this race, we talk about Lando's performance, but there were points in this race where Oscar, I really thought he was going to take it. I thought he was going to take it. Especially the period where McLaren, who, God, how many times do Sky Sports want to ask Zach Brown if he's going to let the McLaren boys fight? Like, every time they went to him on the pit wall, you're going to let them fight. You're going to let them fight. You're going to let them fight. And then Zach Brown would say, yes, they're free to fight. And then they would. And then Zach Brown said, okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. And they actually issued, they issued team orders. I mean, and they're like, okay, you're free to fight now. It's a bit late for that now. So yeah, I mean, Oscar, what can you say? And look, this is the thing. Again, I've tried to say to people, I think people, I'll be very honest with you, and I've had this theory about Oscar Piastri for a long, long time. People's disdain for Lando Norris is making them say things about Oscar Piastri which are not true. And fundamentally not true is that Oscar Piastri is ready to fight. No, let me not put it. That Oscar Piastri is already the complete package and that he is better than Lando Norris. And whilst we have seen that in flashes and glimpses, I don't think there was anything last season which you could show me over the course of the season where you could say to me that Oscar Piastri is miles better than Lando Norris. And I think today showed again that Oscar Piastri, he himself admitted he has no one else to blame but himself. And that is the harsh reality of life at the top. As Lando Norris experienced last season, and let's not forget, Oscar Piastri was nowhere near that title fight in an equal car. Nowhere near it. Okay. Oh my God. Look at the tears. It's windy here today. It's very windy. That's why I'm crying. But yeah, I just think for me, more signs that Oscar's not quite ready to be the team leader, but he is ready to challenge Lando Norris. And I think it'll be interesting to see that dynamic. Let's go through here. It'll be interesting to see that dynamic throughout the season. Oscar Piastri overtake around the outside of Lewis 9 to take P9. Great recovery drive from Oscar after being beached in the grass for as long as he was. Incredible overtake around Lewis Hamilton around the outside. Lewis would not want to see that again. And I guess talking of Ferrari, as we walk past the Ferrari garage here, some solemn faces I can see here in the Ferrari garage. In fact, it's probably better weather here than they've got in Melbourne right now. But Ferrari. Charles Leclerc in 8th, Lewis Hamilton 10th. I think one of the commentators were like, Lewis Hamilton gets a point on his Ferrari debut. So we're not here for fuck-ass 1 points, bro. Like, respect us. Respect us. Lewis Hamilton, I mean, the questions that I put yesterday around Ferrari was the alarming lack of pace. And I think we can say that now. Was the alarming lack of pace in qualifying on Saturday, because they were trying to big brain it with extra downforce and going with a wet weather setup so that Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc could come through and be a lot more comfortable during the wet race on Sunday. And I think the unequivocal answer to that is that the car lacks pace, or they were unable to unlock the pace in the car that may be there, or maybe that we saw in Bahrain. Concerning, to say the least. And to be honest, we probably should have taken Charles Leclerc's assessment of matters at face value on Friday, because he was extremely unhappy with Ferrari on Saturday. Team LH, we were too happy just to be there to really take any concern of that. But Charles Leclerc and a lot of Tifosi were not happy, and I can see why. Shall we get to Lewis and Ricciardo Adami, I think is how it's pronounced. So, Lewis has a new race engineer. After working with Bono for what would seem like years, Lewis Hamilton is now working with Ricciardo Adami. I've made some notes of some of the radio messages that we heard throughout the Grand Prix, right? They are. So lap 14, we get the first "leave me alone, leave me to it." Just getting information. And I must say, look, so I'm never one to listen to team radio. I normally just listen to the feed. During practice, I want to say, I said, you know what? Let me go into team radio, because I'm not doing anything else. Why not? Let's listen to team radio. And I think I tweeted that Ricciardo Adami, I'm listening to Lewis's radio, and I didn't realize that they talk this much on the radio. He is yapping. Yap. Obviously, he's trying to give as much information to Lewis Hamilton as possible. Now, this is Carlos Sainz's old race engineer. We know how meticulous Carlos Sainz is. We know how much Carlos Sainz wanted information, and maybe this is what was happening with Ricciardo and Lewis. He's trying to give him some more information so that he can, learn the things in the car. Lap 28 was the DRS instructions on how to better use the DRS. Lewis Hamilton said, "Leave me to it." And lap 31 was where Lewis Hamilton is trying to K1. Lewis Hamilton said, "I'm not close enough." We kind of said, "Okay, but just give it a go. Give it a go. See what happens." Lewis Hamilton's like, "Brother, please shut the fuck up. Like, enough. Enough. I said on Twitter that Ricciardo is almost like a waiter. When you're at a restaurant and the waiter will not stop coming up to your fucking table. Time after time. I was like, "Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Do you need some bread? Is everything okay? Can I get you a drink? Can I get some more wine? Do you need some more water? Brother, I'm trying to eat here. I'm trying to impress this babe. I'm on a first date with this babe. I've never seen this babe before. I've never spoken to her before. I'm trying to get some chemistry. You're over here like fucking Diddy in the back of the videos, all up in the videos. Let me live." Lewis didn't seem very happy. And we can see, I think Lewis has said there, this is a learning period. I think Team LH sometimes can be, they can hear what they want to hear, right? Like they're listening, but I don't think they're hearing, but they're not listening. So if Lewis Hamilton says, I'm in a learning period with the team. I've got my first wet weather run tomorrow. I need to learn the settings. Me and my engineer still need to figure out how to talk to each other. That today, I don't think they really. I think they're like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. He's still like he's Superman, and he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do." And the truth is, like, there is gonna be an acclimatization period, and he's racing against guys who have been in their teams for a while now, and I think there is going to be an acclimatization period. What we cannot abide, though, and this is the thing, in the back of my mind all the time, yes, I loved the videos, I loved the razzmatazz, oh my God, Ferrari is so historical, it's so cultural, Fred Vasseurs great, Charles Leclerc's great. But we have seen Ferrari strategy from the outside, and we have laughed at Ferrari strategy from the outside. And today, we got a taste of that medicine. And my God, that medicine tastes like shite. Jesus Christ. Lap 49. Lap 49 is when it all started to kick off. Now, Lewis Hamilton had an opportunity to come into the pit. He only stayed out because he was of the belief, because of the communication from Ricciardo about the rain, where he says, he was told there's not much rain. Literally 30 seconds later, it starts pissing it down. Lewis is out on the wrong tyres, and you basically have thrown away a P4, maybe I don't think a podium was on, but maybe a P4, maybe a P3, was on the cards. I listened to the radio as I see a train go by. Can we see a train go by in the background? I don't know if you can, but yeah, I don't know if you could hear that. I listened to the radio of Ricciardo and Lewis talking about that period. Ricciardo is giving Lewis so much information about Verstappen. Here's the Captain Verstappen. Do this from the steering wheel. This, that, and the other. On the rain, absolute mum's the word. Lewis is asking questions. He's getting no answers. And it's just like, I think it's clear, it's like, what information is important information? The rain. Like, look, the rain. The rain and the tyres we need to be on, like, that's important. Oh my God, I feel like I'm going crazy. I was watching this race, like, they've chucked this away. Like, I knew it straight away. I was like, they've chucked this away. Such is the beast. So what I will say to Team LH is this. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari was not a plug and play situation. Like, if Lewis had gone to, say, McLaren, then we'd know, okay, this is a team that won the Constructors' title last year, and, you know, there are some things to iron out, but overall it looks like a team in the right direction. And you can say the same about Ferrari, for sure. But we know about Ferrari. We know how ridiculous their strategy has been in the past. We have laughed at their strategy. Lewis Hamilton is going there. A big reason why they signed up Lewis Hamilton is they want championship winning experience. They want someone, a driver, a leader, who's going to be able to take that team and assess the things that they do and lead them to better improve the processes and practices so that they're able to become a championship winning outfit. Yesterday, Lewis Hamilton described the warm-up of the tyres. Why are we doing the same thing twice in different conditions? Already, today, very lively, a lot of work to do. The car was difficult to drive, and essentially there was communication missing when the rain came out. He's already digging them out. And I don't say he's digging them out. He's already giving that feedback that's needed for them to progress. And that's essential, because for Lewis and Ferrari to progress, they're going to need to lean on his experience, and they're going to need to allow him to feed back to them where they're going wrong so that they can move forward as a team, because this shit needs to stop. Straight up, this shit needs to stop, because they are a joke of an outfit when it comes to strategy at points. And today, honestly, today was an embarrassment for Ferrari. And if I was on the outside, and I say that as someone who is now a follower of Ferrari, if Lewis was still a Mercedes and we watched two Ferrari drivers go through that today, me and Tandy on the podcast today would be absolutely laughing at these men. We'd be laughing at these radio communications. We'd be laughing at the strategy that was given. We'd be fucking laughing at the fact that they threw away those positions that they did. So just because Lewis is there, I'm not going to stand here and say that, oh, you know, this, that, and the other. It's an embarrassment. It's not a good day at the office, and I guess we'll see. Whether lessons have been learned. All you can say is lessons learned. But have those lessons been learned? We will see. Okay, Red Bull, Max Verstappen in second. Lando Norris. Oh, right, yes. Max Verstappen in second. Liam Lawson, DNF. Liam Lawson at points today was 3 seconds per lap slower than Max Verstappen. Now, let's say this weekend is not representative. Liam Lawson has had an awful weekend. And like it has been bad. There's been some unlucky things where I think there were some issues where he wasn't able to run. He's not been to that circuit before, but in practice, he was over half a second slower than Max. In qualifying, he doesn't get out of Q1. In the race, he's lapping nearly 3 seconds a lap slower than Max in the wet, and then he crashes and he's out. Not a great weekend. But as we know, not a great weekend for any of the rookies, in all honesty. And I guess we'll see how they bounce back from that. But these cars in the wet are horrible to drive. We saw it in Brazil last year. Who struggled the most in Brazil last year? Franco Colapinto, Ollie Behrman. Those were the guys who struggled the most last year. And if you're going to put some money on what was going to happen today, rookies crashing it into the wall in these cars would probably be a very safe bet. So, you know, yeah. But Max Verstappen still not happy with the car. Red Bull say that they are they're happy with second, obviously. I think that there's a train. There you go. Meow. Red Bull, I think, are happy with the second place, but they're not happy with the pace in the car. Max Verstappen, I think, will take second place. Like I said yesterday, he's inevitable. He will maximize all opportunities, and he did that today. Mercedes, George Russell with the most anonymous P3 I think I've ever seen in my life. Where the fuck was George Russell all race? Made a decision after seeing Lando and Oscar go off to come into the pits, which benefited him. He was on the right tyres at the right time. Steady race. That is George Russell in a nutshell. You ever seen Inglourious Bastards? And there's, I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, like, I think it's a really good piece of dialogue. The German SS guy, can't remember his name, is describing rats. And he's like, people think rats are bad. You know, they describe, so if someone calls you a rat, that's a bad thing. But actually, I think rats are good. They're resourceful. They're able to survive in the most horrible conditions. That is George Russell. George Russell will hang around. He'll survive. He'll come through. When you least expect it, George Russell will be there to pick up the pieces from someone else. You leave some fucking crumbs on the floor, George Russell is going to be there to come and mop them things up. He doesn't give a fuck. Shameless. But it works. You've got to be in it to win it. And George has this thing where he's either binning it or he's winning it. And today, he's done well. He done well. P3. But one of the stars of the day, Kimi Antonelli. I'm going to walk away from this train. I realise now. Let's walk away from the train. It's mad. I don't think I see that. I think that train, is that my train that I get home? Who knows? Kimi Antonelli, P4. Great performance from Kimi. When all of his rookie friends at some point had put it in the wall, other than Ollie Behrman, who was just pretty much anonymous today. But he came through, he recovered from yesterday, and what a recovery drive to bring that car home in fourth. Towards the end, I think he had a bit more pace than George as well, which is very interesting. But let me tell you right now, Kimi Antonelli is the real deal. I know it's one race, but I think yesterday he would have been in Q3 if it wasn't for the damage on the car. It would have been very interesting to see him up there with everyone else. And for me, I've not seen anything from this kid to let me think that there's anything other than an absolute superstar. behind the wheel of that Mercedes. So well done to Kimi Antonelli, who got past Alex Albon in the end. And yeah, Alex Albon. Well. That is how you shut people up. That is how you show people that you are not there to be pushed over by the new signing. He held Lewis Hamilton. I pretty much wrecked Lewis Hamilton's race with some great defensive driving. And then, yeah, again, Williams pitted at the right time, and we're able to capitalize. And those are some massive points for Williams. Carlos Sainz, DNF, said he got a torque spike, and he crashed out, I think, on the first lap. Might have been behind the safety car. Not great for Carlos, but Williams looked great. Williams looked good. Potentially one of the best of the rest between them and V-Carb. But Alex Albon, I do want to work on Alex Albon. I think some people, obviously the Red Bull connection, he's not the most popular person within Team LH. Understandable. But great performance from Alex. Very capable driver. And let's see, that battle with Carlos Sainz is going to be very interesting. Trying to change this with one hand. Oh my god. See how windy it is? Oh, I've changed the wrong page. Hold on. Right, let's go through the rest. Aston Martin, Lance Stroll. Well done to Lance Stroll. Again, absolutely anonymous race. I don't think I saw Lance Stroll at all, but he brought it home in 6th place. Fernando Alonso, finished guy. Honestly, this has got to be Fernando Alonso's last season in F1. Surely. Absolutely anonymous weekend. And then he's topped it off with a DNF. Nico Hülkenberg came through in 7th. Great performance, and that's some very good points for Sauber. Gabriel Bortoleto unfortunately couldn't build on his performance in qualifying. He also hit the barriers and was out. Alpine, not a great day for them. Jack Doohan, my God. Flavio Briatore was there. Franco Colapinto was there. And what do? You stick it in the wall. My God. Not great. And unfortunately, he DNF'd. Unfortunately, Pierre Gasly finishing in 11th, unable to get some points. He was passed at the end, yeah, he fell out of the top 10. V-Carb, Yuki Tsunoda, pretty much did the same strategy as Ferrari. Maybe it was an Italian thing. I don't know what was going on there, but unfortunately, he ended up finishing 12th. And obviously, Isaac Hadjar, oh man, my heart goes out to him. DNF before the fucking race has started. On the fucking warm-up lap, he's crashed it, and you can see the tears. That moment of being consoled by Anthony Hamilton will probably be a defining moment for Isaac Hadjar. Hadjar, you know, is today going to be what we kind of look at as, well, that's where the confidence disappeared, and the potential that we might have seen in Isaac, we weren't able to see again? Or does he bounce back from this and we see him rise and we say, wow, that hug from Anthony, look what that's done for him, and we go from there? It's up to Isaac, but crashing on the warm-up lap is honestly probably the most embarrassing thing you can do in Formula One. On your debut, I felt for him. I did feel for him, but let's see. Hopefully he can bounce back from it. And Haas, only Behrman, 14th. Esteban Ocon behind him or in front of him, who knows? Those guys are an awful weekend. Awful weekend on the wrong tyres, no pace. This is what we expected Haas to be like last season. And then they were, best of the rest, essentially. Not best of the rest, but they were, really high up in the midfield. I worry about Haas this season. It doesn't look good. So hopefully there's some improvements there. But we'll see. But look, that's the end of the notebook. If you've made it this far, wow. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Like this video, please. On the way to 6,000. So we're nearly at 5,400. Can we get to 6,000 this year? I'd like to get to 6,000 like before the end of the summer break. Like that's what I'd like. So if we can get like 1,600 more subscribers, like 100 a month would be awesome. But we're on the road to 6,000. So if you could like this video, give it a subscribe. Let me know what you think. What do you think about Ferrari? What do you think about Lando? It'd be nice to know what you guys think. We'll be back with a podcast. But until then, remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep it on the black stuff. Until next time, take care.